This is called Life in a Bus. We were a family of 6. Our children, 3 girls and a boy. In 2001 we made a choice, and we needed to leave one of our children behind. It was a hard decision for us at that time, for our eldest was in a grad year, for she had chosen a nursing career. So we packed up our house, put our whole house into a bus, the china plates and the 3 tin lids, all of us in a 36-foot bus, with very little time to adjust. It was just after 9/11 we hit the Frog and Toad, our first stop at Chuka to plumb the bus. We spent a week, why rush? Time to set up homeschooling. It was really quite grueling. Vic Ed just gives you a CD-ROM. Said just print it out, they said. How fun! Not. Time to keep calm as we left Echuca. We crossed over the Murray River and we headed to Bellingen and Coffs Harbour. Bellingen, beautiful, but the bats drove us bat crazy. The owner of the park told us they'll be gone at dusk and they'll be back at 6. Gone at dusk was right. Back at 3 a.m. How amusing. The bus and the car were covered in green bat poo, which was quite a task to remove. From Bellingen we headed to the Glasshouse Mountains, given the name by Captain Cook, because from the sea they had a shimmering look. Australia Zoo and all their encounters, then over the PA was the announcer, the opportunity to hold a Burmese python. We watched the water dragons chase each other between our feet while we ate lunch, but we were not allowed to touch. Heading north again, stopping at Tannum Sands, a beautiful spot. The damn midgies were running red hot. The Americans call them no-seas, and they're right. You really do not see midgies. You feel the haze, tried all their sprays. The main thing that calmed my skin and mind, Finucane was the best investment, I find. On we went to Airlie Beach, and we set up the bus at Flame Tree. This became our new home for the next 9 months. Poor Brit had to go back to primary school. She was unimpressed about that, I can assure you. But the view from that school, oh my God, the turquoise waters were a sight to behold. Airlie was hard to make friends, as Airlie Beach Township is very transient. Come May 2002, we packed up the bus to move on. Steve brought the car trailer home to load the car, boat and boat trailer, motorbike and bicycles. Talk about accumulate. The kids were out patting the possums when Jack yells out, "Dad, taipan," which called us into action. "Dad, Dad, it's over there," they chorused. We must have picked it up from storage. We moved on from Airlie and headed northwest via Ayr. I saw my first sugarcane burn there. It was just before we turned to head west towards the Gulf. At times the road was a little rough. We pulled up at a little town called Croydon. Would have liked to boycott. The Gulf lander goes there once a week. A lot of people come to see the little train that virtually goes from nowhere to nowhere. And I'd actually go one step further and say it goes from one shithole to another. Normanton to Croydon. Normanton, the station, has been done up. There is a train museum that you must take up. The little train will take you for a billy tea and a bit of damper, if you please. My son Beau was always a train buff. He's now 30 and still is one today. We've travelled Australia to see many trains. He got to sit in the driver's seat. He could not refrain. He had a smile like a Cheshire cat. He very well could have been Sir Topham Hatt. From Normanton, we parked the bus at Burke and Wills Roadhouse, unloaded the car and drove 350 kilometres west on a special quest to see the beautiful place called Lawn Hill. Adele's Grove is a place you can stay or camp if you wish along the way. It's a place you should in your lifetime visit. You do need a little tough spirit, as it can be as rough as Hessian undies, but it is absolutely stunning. Travelling back, we hit a wedge-tail eagle. Jack, with the wildlife experience, rescued. We took it into Mount Isa. Unfortunately, it could not be saved. The vets donated it to science, and we went on from Isa to Three Ways. We headed north to Mataranka Thermal Springs, from there into Darwin. We parked the bus up at Howard Springs. In our first wet season, a cyclone was declared, and to batten down the hatches, they said. Cyclone Craig, it was called. I met a lady from work at the lifts. She said, I could have told you it was going to be a lazy cyclone with a name like Craig. We lived in Darwin for over a year. I've been asked many times over the years, would I do it again? My answer will always be, in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. We need to get out and see Australia. Folks, see Australia. Beautiful.